Hey guys, Sunstreaker was here. Welcome back to another Thursday live stream. And yes, as always, all the hot topics on Transformers Earth Wars. And today is no different. So, obviously, the big news out this week was the update that never came. So, they planned it in for Tuesday. Massive server update, which was not their fault at all. Nothing to do with them. Just the thing that they used to upload these updates was all under a sort of construction. Couldn't upload it. Wednesday, different issue. Couldn't upload it Wednesday, so they decided sadly we're gonna upload it next week. They don't want to upload it into this weekend and have no time to fix all the bugs if they happen. Quite confident that it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be seamless. It's gonna be okay. It's not gonna crash the game with these 400,000 changes or something, whatever it is. But they want to play it on the safe side, which I kind of get a bit, so I'm not too mad. But that's the big talking point. Obviously, that today's stream, I did plan on just going through that update, seeing what's what, seeing what's changed. But we can't do that this week. So we've got a few other things instead to go through. So there is a bot that's been quite buggy for a while that they all started working on fixing. And we're going to talk a bit about that bot, why it was broken, why it's never been fixed, how it might be fixed. Bit about that later. Then we're going to talk about some of the ability 11s. The ability 11s were sort of put in the patch notes, then taken out. So we're going to talk about them bots and sort of what ability 11 we're sort of expecting, and will that sort of bring them better into the meta and bits like that. And then I'm actually going to give you guys my top 10 bots after the buffs. Now, I've not included any bots that are already good that I don't think are going to change. There's some bots that I'm just like, they're still going to be good regardless. There's some bots, I'll give a bit of a, bit of an insight, like Leo Prime, where I'm just not sure. I'm not 100% confident. I'm going to try and use them on my team, but I'm not 100% confident behind it that it's going to be one of the top bots still. But there are some bots where I'm like, you know what, they are going to be good. You're going to see some action from these bots. And if you've got these bots, might work for leveling this weekend if you're planning on leveling some bots, ready maybe for next week. So we're going to go through that as well, my top 10 bots from the patch notes, if that makes sense. My top 10 patches, if that makes sense. Cool. Yeah, all that and more. And as always, guys, if you've got any questions, stick them in the chat, and I will gladly answer them as much as I can. So let's see who's in the chat. So apologies for the early release of the stream. I won't say the F word, but I did F it up a bit. I was setting the stream up because Jake had a bit of a football trial. Kind of, not. But yeah, but anyway, he had football. And it was late. It did let you finish at like 9 p.m, but it wasn't too far away. So it finished at 9 p.m. We flew back. So I had to set all the stream up beforehand to get it all ready. And in the sort of rush of getting it set, I set it for like 7:30. I was like, yeah, I'm not streaming at 7:30. Some guys disappointed. But hey, here as normal. So yeah, sorry guys. But we've got Stephen Gomez in the chat who says buff the Huff. Well, he has had a buff, but will he be relevant? I don't know. You might see him in my top 10 maybe. Then we've got Trax as well. Thanks for joining, buddy. We've got London's Calling. We've got Ricky Lau. We've got Croto, my buddy from my alliance, has been promoted. We've got a top war, I think, tomorrow. So good looking at war, buddy. Good to see you in the chat. My buddy Cheeto, as always, good to see you, bud. My buddy Soldier as well. Go and check out his channel, guys. Like I said, probably the most polished content creator out there. Really, really good content. Go and check him out. We've got E-Rods as well. We've got Blade 19, one of my members as well. Thanks for being a member. We've got Giga. We've got Carnage Mac. We've got Predator King 19, William Wilkinson. We've got Timothy Koblenz. Is that right? Hope it's right. We've got who else? We've got Matt Paul as well. Good to see you, buddy. We've got Cuddy Fox. We've got the Wrecker. We've got Joseph Torillo. Who else have we got? We've got Hellraiser as well. We've got Deshaun as well. But will the new bots be Fry? Don't know. We've got Fabian Benetton. Hope I got that right. Thanks for joining as well. And I I think that is... Oh, and Richard Trinder as well. Just seen you there as well, sneaking in. Thanks for joining the stream, buddy. A couple of questions about the new bots. Or what it is at the end of the event. At the end of the saga, sorry. Not a clue. I've been pestering Dale. I'm like, Dale, what is it? It's really doing my head in. And it's like, honestly, I don't really know. It's like, I've been busy with this patch. It's all I've been focused on is this patch. I don't really know. So, yeah, I don't even know, guys. Honestly, I've got no idea. I can normally see this stuff and I'm like, yeah, I kind of know what it is. Because if it's not in playtest, it's been spoken about or something by people. And you get an idea. But I haven't got an idea. So, is it one of the primes? I don't know. It's a bit quick, isn't it? It's not been in test yet. It's a bit soon. I don't know. Is it a bit... I don't know. We have had things late sometimes in test. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on what it is. But I'm like you guys. I want to know. I'm impatient. So we'll find out. But I'm thinking it might be. Because they normally put new bots and it doesn't say that. We'll show it obviously in the newsletter. So it's something. Don't know. But just say Mayhem. So it's not a new event. Just say Mayhem. It's not anything like that. It's definitely some new content. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's see what people put in the chat while I drink out my Simpsons mug. Yeah, obviously a few people passed away this week. Obviously the Hulk and Ozzy and the guy from Cosby Show. I never really watched the Cosby Show really, but Ozzy Osbourne, obviously a legend. Not a big metal fan, if you call it metal or rock, but yeah, I'm not a massive Hulk Hogan fan from that era. I was more like the sort of rock and Stone Cold era, but obviously all sort of like legends, you know, especially obviously Hulk and Ozzy, huge legends of their field, no doubting. What else? Yeah, sorry, Croto. It's that I put quarter 2 in case I was back late from the football because I weren't sure what time it was going to finish at. But yeah, we obviously got finished well in time to start the stream as normal. Hoodie Fox, I've been seeing one of the Spark bots on Facebook. Hopefully it's not one of them. Yeah, Spark bots. Spark bots? Don't know. No, don't know. Yeah, is it one of the Cyborg characters, maybe? I don't know, maybe. Well, why did I just put bots? I don't know, it's weird, isn't it? My character's put, nice, I have that Simpsons glass. Oh, with Homer on it. I've got Homer as well. I've got Mo. I got Homer. Just a beer mug. I have juice in it though. Oh, Earthspark. Cheetos put. All right. Ooh. What about that? Cool. Right, let's go through the newsletter and then we can crack on with the stream. So, Barwick Grind Out Week Ninny Bong. This week's event is called Age of the Primes. Bit of a telltale sign, maybe? Who knows? Maybe it's a red herring. But this weekend's event is a normal Alliance event. Spark, Prime Core Shards, Spark Chests, 3-star, 4-star shards. Very sort of like vanilla event, what I call. But yeah. Yeah, 500k event. Some Spark and stuff. Again, really good for some lower alliances to get some good resources, but the higher alliances, nah, very, very vanilla. Usual battle zones apply. And then some talk, obviously, about the balance patch. Obviously coming next week, so it's 22nd of July. Did start in January, 400,000 changes, no lie, has been a lot. A lot of it is tool tips and little adjustments like that and wording of things, and obviously changing all the stun to disable, and then the slows, the cryos. So a lot of it is that, you know, we say 400,000. It's a lot of little tweaks, but it is a lot of tweaks. I think nearly every single tooltip has been rewritten pretty much. It's mad, honestly, just to clear that up, and it's a lot clearer. Titan balance update. I've not really had much chance to try these guys out. This has been in playtest and not really been balanced, which worries me. But I'll have to sort of try this out. I'm not exactly sure what these will mean in terms of balancing Titans. I literally learned about it when you guys learned about it when the newsletter came out. So they removed some passives, and then obviously increased some damage and then removed some things. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to try it in time for next week, where we'll have obviously Arc versus Arc versus not Nemesis, Arc versus Fort Max versus Metroplex, and then Metroplex obviously versus Arc, and try the 3 out and see how they go. But yeah, a lot of changes. But yeah, some reduced there. Shattering Rain, Energy Beam, Melting Beam, increase the damage. So I think they're trying to get back to the 4-star ability in most cases being the top ability, and obviously the 5-star ability then being the most damage, I think. They made Titan Assault a bit easier as well, by reducing the star level of the final Titan, which means you get a bit more Titan sparks. That's fine, that's decent. Combine Gate this weekend, Magnaboss and Tripredicus. I'm literally just saving these up. These are particularly good because we don't have any of the Magnaboss bots or Tripredicus, I'm pretty sure, as 5-star versions. And so we don't have G1s for them yet, nothing like that. So for me, it's worth keeping their crystals. So you'll be able to get their G1 cores, and then you'll get some ranks for them and things like that. So personally, anything like this, I'm saving, just for when they get cores and things like that. But only save them if you can. If you need the crystals, go and use them, guys. Nothing worse than being seen like a mid-tier player saving crystals. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, well, you saved them, was it? Yeah, but I've literally got everything I need. Literally everything is not a box, but everything else is maxed out, and I'm overflowing with resources. That's why I'm saving them, not because I'm just saving for the sake of it to look good or something. Apart from them doing a 5-star crystal video. I mean, come on. Just saying, been giving some free stuff out in the cyber store. Obviously, they've given some fuel cells out in the past and like 300 cyber coins. So it is worth logging into Cyber Pass and again, just seeing if there's any free stuff. We've got a skin for Bludgeon and Whirl. I'm not a big fan. That's very pink. Very pink. Whirl is alright, I suppose. Not too bad. I don't dislike it. I don't like it. It's alright. I don't mind it. And then we've got the Saga schedule. So as you can see there, end of Saga event, new content. You can see there though, that says combat release. It normally says new bot. So what's new content? Does that mean it's not a bot? It's not a combiner, because it's a combiner event. It's not... I don't know. Is it tracks? Could it be 5-star tracks, maybe? Endurance of 5-star tracks. They did say when they bring out the content and go into the store. I can't see it being 5-star power glide. I think they would do that as a different event. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think this new content is? Is it a prize? If it's a bit too soon? Who knows? And then go and check out your content creators. Obviously, Freesia, Soldier, myself, and CF. And that is all for the newsletter, guys. So Krotos put tracks will be a web store exclusive until in a batch. Yeah, probably. Will we be a web store exclusive though until he's in an event? I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, Matty's put it has to be Prime related, surely. Who knows? Who knows? William Wilkerson pulled a 4-star Metal Hawk this week. Is he good for anything? That was actually brought up in one of the chats, and we're having a bit of a debate about it. Some people rate him quite highly. I don't personally. He's not awful, but I don't rate him like S tier. But some people do, and that's a bit like I don't see how he is personally. Since it was fixed anyway, I don't know. Michael Nicholson's put, yeah, I was going to ask, schedule says individual, but they list it as an alliance this weekend. Who knows? Late 19s, but I wish they were releasing this balance this week. At least we could then have been used to it. Like the idea being released the week of a big event, especially if it comes with bugs. Well, I think the idea is they can get the bugs rid. My worry is that if we can't use Ruination as much for events, and we've got a big event that weekend, people are going to lose their minds, aren't they? If they can't really use Ruin as much. It's hard on the test server. It's hard because you don't have the same effects on the test server. It's similar to sort of when you test your own base. I'm sure you've found it that you might find that when you go into wars, you find it difficult. When you test your own base, you can like, I can beat my own base easy. Why can I not win in wars? It's because there's no Titan effects on beat your own base, and there's no Titan effects, I think, on the whole of test server, I think. It must be beat your own base, I don't know. But the test server as well, if you go into the top zone of zone 16, it's like zone 15. Sorry guys, something behind me. Apologies. Yeah, zone 16 is like zone 15. So it's you can't sort of use that as a gauge. So you could take Ruination in for leveling, but you're literally going to be going into zone 15, so it's really easy. So it's not something you can do. But hey. Michael Nixon, for what you have read about buffs coming this week, are there any bots that you are potentially moving up your ranks you have done? We're going to have a talk in a minute about what I did last big event, obviously for the new bot, for the new combat, sorry. I didn't do it for the new combat, I did it for the BBE, the combat's still level 1. But I'll tell you sort of what I leveled, I'll tell you what I'm leveling next to give you an idea. But like I said later on, we are going to do my sort of top 10 bots that have been part of the balance change. So again, this is not my top 10 bots of in the game. I'm just telling you like out of all the balance changes, these are my top 10 that I think could be useful in the game, more useful than what they were before. So yeah. Going off, but zone 16 is all over the place. It's frustrated. Imagine that. It's even worse on a test because it's not on test. It's literally max bases and it's got HQ 17s in there. No, mine just 18s. It's in fact even 16s even. I don't know what's going on test. It's even worse. But there's even fewer max bases on test, which sounds that's great for events. But when you're in trying to test against a top zone, then it's really difficult on test because you can't find many top bases. You have to sort of test for your own alliance. So yeah. Steve Post put in any wonder, I think he's put any wonder why they constantly release broken content because they can't even make their test server work. It's not it's broken. It's not by any means broken. What it is because most of the bases on there, when the test server's created, are like HQ 15, 16s. And so the only HQ 17s are in the game are the people that signed up for playtest and did raids, I think. HQ, yeah, I think 17s, yeah. And the only HQ 18s in there are the people that have been playtesters in the last couple of years since HQ 18 have been there. So you can imagine, out of a player base of so many bases, you know, there's thousands of bases on the test server, like live version, but there's a lot less top players. HQ 18s, you probably talk about 100 HQ 18s probably. And you probably talk about 1,000 HQ 17s. And then everything else is HQ 16s. So that's what I'm sort of getting at. Mario Zambiano's put, heard so many rumors about Optimus Prime being nerfed and touched. What does that mean? Mario Zambianime Alliance is going crazy after they screenshot Trax Discord post. I know, I have talked to Trax about that. It's not good. So, this was put, I'm going to talk about it in a minute actually because one of the subjects, so I'll talk about it and I'll leave it to them. But don't panic too much. Cool. Right. let's have a look at what I've been doing. So last week before last, was obviously the event for the new combat. So just to prove a point, I said I wasn't going for the combat, but I ended up going for the BBE. I'll show you in a minute who I put that on. Let me try and find it. There's the collab. Just to prove a point. There's the new combat. Still at level 1. He'll stay there. I don't see any use for him. Freeze hit me up and said, "Hey, what do you think about this and this bot, this new combat, this bot?" And I was like, "I don't know, really. Can't see it working that well together. It's nothing like, it's all right, but I don't think it's gonna be any other bots that I have with certain combos and combats." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm struggling a bit as well." And me and sort of freeze had a conversation about, like, we're stuck really on what to use this for. You can sometimes see a use on defense, sometimes see a use on offense, but I just can't. So he's still at level 1, not bothering with him. But in terms of the BBE, I stuck that on Peacemaker. Loving Peacemaker at the minute. Really, really good combat. Maybe not the best use on Smokescreen, but I know that I use Smokescreen every single war attack. Probably will do for the future, so I need to get Peacemaker in there somewhere, but maybe not best suited on Smokescreen. So I suggest if you use 2 gunners or 2 ranged bots, put Peacemaker elsewhere and put something else on Smokescreen. But for the time being, I've got to get Peacemaker in. That's my point. Bots that I leveled. I leveled Wing Saber up to level 67. I think with his glass gas and with the obviously the damage to a target, he can do well for the shield gen, and then clearing up anything behind him as well. I'm still planning on trying out Leo Prime. So any bot that puts damage in an area, in a line, will sort of combo with Leo Prime. So I don't think I'll be able to clear out as much with Leo Prime, but I still think I'll be able to clear out a decent amount with Leo Prime, and that's sort of my aim. Before, I could clean up like, I would say 3/4 of the base with Leo Prime pretty much. Whereas now I think I'll do a half. So it's just about being a bit more clever really, but I've got a plan for that, which we'll talk about when I do top 10 bots later, because one of them, the bots I want to use, is in that. Did Silbot as well, just taking out some of them fire bill bots if I still need to. Will fire bill bots still be as prevalent with Leo Prime getting a nerf? Who knows? Will everyone revert to Sea Spray? Maybe. But obviously with Sea Spray getting fixed, so he's actually doing the damage he should, then that might change. Who knows? Who else? I did someone else as well. Oh, and Overload as well. And leveled Overload to level 67 as well. So, I think next big event, we'll finish Overload off. And there's another bot, which I'm going to talk about later, so I won't talk about it yet, who I'm going to level. So, that's my sort of plan. But Sea Spray is rubbish now. He's not rubbish. I think he's balanced. I really do. He was doing too much before. Even I was shocked how much damage he was doing. Even I was really like, wow. So it could one-shot the MDS, which is ridiculous, really. He shouldn't be doing 13k damage. So, yeah. Yeah. Steve Pierce has done over 50% damage decrease. Yeah, like Leo Prime. He was doing too much, sadly. He was. But I know it's not good. I know people get annoyed by it, but he was doing too much damage. He was. He's a lot more consistent now as well. Before, depending where the tornado went through, it didn't do some amount of damage to some, but did others. Depending on the angle you did it at as well. Like, I was testing it with Dale, and Dale was like, we just test this first. And I was testing it going like, it's all over the show damage. He was doing 15k sort of like to one some targets. Then if you did the tornado at a different angle, it'd do like 8k. And honestly, it was madness. It depended. It started off fast and got slower, I think, or started off slow and got faster. So it did more damage at the start than the end, or vice versa. It depended on where on the path it was. Honestly, the damage was so inconsistent, and everything we've sort of talked about this balance patches, making things consistent, making things do what they say. If it says it's going to do X amount of damage, it should do X amount of damage. dead simple. So yeah. Meta Bears put about Ultra Magnus. I will put it in there. I will talk about Ultra Magnus because I think he has had an update. Again, I had another conversation with Dale about Ultra Magnus, and I'll talk a bit about that. Yeah, cool. All right, first off. So, I tell you what, look about Ultra Magnus first. Let's go to test server. Apologies, guys. I'll reload it. Cuddy Foxbot, I think they tried that to one bot. Not sure who it is now because it was a couple of years ago. But they decreased the bot from 12k now and do 2k. Could not knock anyone out. Don't know who you mean. Meta Bears put, ask about Ultra Magnus because my Galvi does 13k damage and he's awesome. Interesting. Interesting. 13k damage? You sure about that? I'd have to look at that. Don't know. But I did show Ultra Magnus last week, and it was a bit underwhelming. I sort of said that, you know, it was a bit meh. I didn't really think he was worthwhile. And I think Dale sort of said that, saw that stream, and said to me, you know, what do you think Ultra Magnus should do? And the first sort of conversation I had was that, you know, you should be able to use Ultra Magnus to take out a key structure. Maybe a combo even. But with his cost being semi-expensive, I wouldn't say it's cheap, I wouldn't say expensive. But you need to be able to combo that and do a decent amount of damage. And I sort of said to Dale that, I said, as a minimum, any bot that one-shots should be able to one-shot beam lasers, launchers, turrets, mortars. Minimum. Then some of the better ones can do cannons. No one can really one-shot an MDS or a shock tower. If they can, then it's damage over time or it's quite expensive. Things like Roadbuster, SG Jetfire sort of can, but not next to the shield gen, not really my Cronus next to it in some respects, with SG Jetfire anyway. So there's some sort of caveats there. But for fireability points, you know, me personally, I think you should be able to take out. And that should be sort of the limit. So we've got launch a projectile at a distant target dealing 12.5k normal damage. So it's non-elemental. On impact, it explodes, dealing 2,000 electric damage in a small radius. And leaves a trail that inflicts 348 electric damage, total 5k almost, per second to any enemy it passes through. So it does work quite a bit like Roadbuster in that sense. So we look at Roadbuster. So Roadbuster does remove shields. That's a big difference. Dealing 13k damage and does 6.5k normal damage to enemies in its path for 6 plus 3. Ultra Magnus does 12.5k and then does 2,000 electric damage in a small radius and then 4.5k on its path. Very similar, but gives you a bit more of a combo opportunity with this electric. I think we're going to see more and more cryobots in this meta. I really do. So I think that we'll see a bit more of a combo opportunity. It's a bit cheaper. It's 5 plus 4, whereas Roadbuster is 6 plus 3. So he's slightly cheaper than Roadbuster. And then if you sort of compare to Jet, so you got 12.5k obviously with his G1 core. And then you got the likes of Firefly, obviously does like 10.5k for 4 plus 2. So yeah, I think it's a decent amount of damage for a front line special bot. So let's just give him a go and then see what he can do. Okay, so let's put Ultra Magnus down. So he's got a decent range, you can see there. Let's see if we can take out that cannon out. Cannon down. Let's try the shock tower. Shock tower's down. I don't think this is primarily hardboard effects, I don't think. But you can see he's got electric damage on the way as well, so you can combo that with any bot that does sort of cryo as well. The animations obviously need cleaning up a bit. It's sort of running when it does his ability, but you can see there that it's doing a decent amount of damage. I think that's important. And I think the important thing to remember is that sometimes when we see these reworks, we think that the bot is going to be the next best thing. It's going to be absolutely unbelievable, the best bot in the game. I don't think that's the case. If you're waiting for these legacy events and think that these bots are going to be the best in the game, then I think you're going to be disappointed. But the idea is to make them useful at the top level. Not saying they're the best bots in the game. Are they going to replace Roadbuster? Maybe not. Maybe a different option to Roadbuster? Maybe. Is he going to do some decent damage? Can he be used for decent things? Yeah, I think that where you've got maybe a liege core and a cannon at the front bit of a base, and you're a bit worried for it, then yeah, I think Ultra Magnus can be used. Can he be used to take out the shield gen? I don't know, it's a bit too far. But again, with that electric sort of damage, mixing it with cryo, that gets a good bump. I think there's good opportunities for him. So I'm not going to sit here and go, honestly, this bot is unbelievable, it's amazing. But I'm also not going to say, like, it's disappointing. I think it's alright, I think it's pretty good. Will I level him for my war team? Don't know, not too sure. Will I use him in event teams? Yeah, 100%. 100%. So yeah, I think he's a good bot now. I think he went from being one of the worst bots in the game, bit of a meme, obviously, at how bad he was with the inconsistent damage and walking to his death. And I think it's kind of done him just. I think Ultra Magnus needs to be a decent bot in the game, and he never was for a long time. So what I would say is I'm happy I pulled him. I'm happy I got him to level 61. I'm not going to rush him to level 70 to get my war team, but I'll definitely level him, and I'll definitely use him. And I think that's a good sort of balancing point for the bot. So ultimately, I'm quite happy with him. So let me know what you guys think in the chat. Are you happy with him? Do you think he needs a bit more? Do you think he sort of, you know, has a place in the meta? Would you put him in a war team? Maybe. Do you see some good use for him? Who knows? Let me know what you guys think. I'll try and do some more tests against my own base, but it's a bit hard, obviously, because I've got a lot of front-loaded stuff. Let's try and change the design a minute. Hang on. Let's try and pick a different design. When it loads. Ain't nobody got time for that. Right, okay, let's try again. Let's what? Door towers tester has gone down. This won't go for a stream, will it? Well, my internet is obviously fine because I'm streaming, so it can't be the internet connection. Let's try turn on and off again. That always works, right? Tracks is put. It's not a stream without a test server breaking down. Yeah, test server's not working. No, Steve pissed, but you said earlier test server wasn't broken, was it? It wasn't broken. Yeah, contact support. Support, help me out. Tracks, I broke it. So have a look what people put in. Let's go through that. Shark support. Damn, does G1 get Overtron core just increase ability damage? Yeah, I think so. It does for Ultra Magnus anyway, yeah. Kind of sad. I don't know. No, no, no. To be honest, I thought I had a bit extra because I've never used him really. But when I looked into it, then yeah, I think so. Yeah. Mirrors NBL put the tooltips look much better on test. This is part of the update. This is exactly what we're getting. All of them look a lot better. Steve Pierce has put, I hate this in an area. It's too ambiguous after they just made the patch for being clarity. They should have a visual target guide when using that sort of abilities. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. I do like in Clash Royale where it shows you the ability as well. It gives you an idea. It's pretty good. Sharks put, damn, he looks pretty good. Yeah, he's alright, yeah. Goodies Fox has put, I hope they give us Wind Charger. Me too, hopefully. But I don't think it will be this saga because it's a bit, again, ambiguous, isn't it? Sharks has put Wind Charger is definitely coming to the game eventually because he's getting a new toy next year. Yeah, but is it this year? Is it next year? Who knows? Volcanica 69's put, I'm waiting for 5-star Computron. Me too, can't wait. Goody Foxes, but they might add another 3 Jetfire during that time. I doubt so. I doubt it. I doubt it. Volcanic 69 but support. I'll get back to you next month. Goody Foxes, but Armada and Cybertron has Jetfires. Animated has a Jetfire. Just do not tell the devs, so they'll be added for no apparent reason. Yeah, I think they're done with them now. Volcanic 69 reckons Hardhead and Weird Wolf. I don't think so. I'd be buzzing if it is. But yeah. Nuclear Raffle, welcome to the stream as well. Yeah. Let's try again. Sharksy, I'd rather have Chrome Dome than Hardhead. I know, but I've got a soft spot for Hardhead. I've got Hardhead there. Look, I'll show you. It's a bit broken, but I mean, this is better than Grind Time's Dancing, isn't it? He's lost his cannon. His chest plate's broken, but there's my Hardhead. So yeah, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Hardhead. I've had this guy since I was like, what, 6 years old or something, 8 years old. So yeah, bit of a Hardhead fan. There we go. Realize, well, why have I got Silverbot like that? Silverbot's stuff like that. Armed out. Yeah, I mean, why is it not working? Hmm. Yeah. Try to turn it on and off again. Oh, God. I'll have to go on. There we go. Let's try again, guys. Cuddy Fox has put the only bot I refused to get his wheelie. Did not like him in the Headmasters, and is still not doing. Do not like him. Yeah, Volcanic 69 put Fangry as well. Yeah. I have messaged Dale. He's looking into it, but yeah. Steve Fizz, but this is a real confidence builder with them dropping the massive patch next week. Oh dear. I mean, my idea was to go through the top 10 bots and show them on stream as well, but I might have to go into my actual main account to do this. Oh, it's working. It's working. It's working. Let's just pray it stay nice. That was weird, wasn't it? Oh, updating. Alright. Okay, cool. I don't mind. Let's move some of these cores over. Let's try them in me against my own base. I always get nervous doing that because I'm like, I'm on the test server. I'm just going to waste coins. Let's have a look. Let's see what damage it does to the target as well. So let's put him there. MDS. So can't take out an MDS. Can take out a shock. Interesting. So that means you can take out a turret as well. I can name it, sorry. What damage it done to the turret though? Let's have a look. It's over like 14 seconds. So to give you like a combo opportunity. It's about half damage to a turret, so I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think it's alright. I do. I don't think it's groundbreaking. But yeah, I think it has some good use. Yeah. What do you guys think? Track support, I've got 5 of the Headmaster toys. 3 are Masterpiece Thinks, Hardhead, Chrome Dome, and Brainstorm. Then he's got Trigger Happy and Hardhead. Oh, I've got Trigger Happy as well. Trigger Happy's up there as well. I think it's a what toy line? Legends toy line, I think. Whatever it is, I can't remember now. Final Wars, I think, maybe. Actually, Headmaster, which is a bit weird. Considering there's a Target Master. But yeah, Trigger Happy's a Headmaster for some reason. But hey. Cool. Alright. Okay. Next up. So, as someone sort of mentioned earlier, there's been some talk about some sort of leaked information about Optimus Prime. Some people said like, oh, is he getting a nerf? Oh, is he getting a buff? And is it? It's kind of hard to describe, but basically it's trying to be fixed. So I think for a long time, since the game's concept pretty much, Optimus Prime hasn't worked properly, and it's always been a bit of a bugbear for me because, I mean, Optimus Prime's the biggest character in the game. You know, this is the reason that people come to this game for Optimus Prime. It was always a bit of a, you know, an annoyance for me that the main bot in the game doesn't work properly. But I understand that people were sort of under the impression that it couldn't be fixed. I can do this all night. Where's Grind Time's dancing when you need him? I know. Fabian's put unlucky today. I know. I tell you what then, on a totally different subject. I was debating whether to wear a cap on my stream. I do wear quite a few caps in real life. I was debating whether a cap or not. I do like caps in real life. But I've never worn one on stream. And I was like, do I wear one or not? Don't know. Do you guys think? Do I look stupid with a cap? Does it look weird seeing me in a hat? 'Cause you've never seen me in a hat before. But yeah. On another note, yeah, I know track spot freeze with a hat. I know. Yeah, I don't always like I'm copying people, but I do wear quite a few hats. I've got quite a few hats as well. But yeah. But yeah, if, Dale has booked the tickets today for us to go to TF Nation. So if you are going to TF Nation on the Sunday, then you will see me there along with Dale and Cal. So yeah, So interesting. So if you do see us there, come and say hello. Come and say hi. Come and get a picture. Whatever. But yeah, can't wait for that. Looking forward for that. Looking forward to TF Nation on Sunday, the 10th of August. So yeah, look out for me. I'll be the one in a hat, incognito. See, I can't put this on now for the rest of my stream because I've done half the video with it off, so I look a bit stupid. So I can't today. But yeah, I'll show you a few of my hats that I've got. And I've got them near to hand, all upstairs and stuff like that. That's what I was wearing today. So the yes past 2%, we're back in again. Yeah, Traxxas point, it would have been cool if they would have used the Quake hardhead model versus the Vulcan tank. I was a bit frustrated that when they brought in, was it Quake the other week, they brought Gears in. Why did they bring hardhead in? But I'm glad now because I don't really like Gears' ability, so I'm glad hardhead didn't get that. But yeah. See attackers put the glare, put a hat back on. Volcanic 69 has put engineer Hoyt got burned out. It's easy done. Listen, I say this to people. Listen, there's a reason why you've had so many content creators for Earth Wars and people have stopped, and I've had a break once as well. It gets hard. It's demanding. Obviously, keep doing it. People don't realise the work that goes into it. It's not just turning up once a week for an hour or two and just streaming. It's having ideas for the streams. It's being in chats and see what people are talking about and what the sort of news on the street is as such and all this, and you're not repeating yourself and trying to keep the content fresh and doing something different, not repeating yourself and being fresh and not repeating yourself and sorry, I can't resist it. But yeah, honestly, it can be difficult, guys. Honestly, there's a reason why I said why so many content creators start up and then don't last. If you think back about the amount of content creators the game's had that didn't last the what do you want to call it? Last time, yeah. There's an outage on the PT server. Right. I don't think I can go through the primers today, guys. I think we're going to have to jump through to my top 10. We'll talk about why they've been improved from the main server, I think. And we'll have to go from there. And the stream will be a bit shorter than what I imagined. But yeah. I can't do it on the test server. I also don't want to start the stream again, start talking, and keep getting cut out. So yeah. Jax has put Dale, you unplugged the server, admit it. Big chinks, but Cyber passing out 6,000 points. I know, yeah. That's something as well. I weren't really happy about that. But yeah. Goody Fox, how about top 10 Autobots not in the game yet? I actually did that a while ago. There is a video on that. I think it might have been about last year though, I think I did that. But I have done a video on that. What's the purple crown thing? Oh, I think you get it just for talking, and you get awards. So I think Trax has got number 1, which means he talks a lot, which we all know. Volcanic 69 but Hardhead is number 1. Volcanic 69 but Hardhead should get one amazing ability and not 2 mediocre ones like Whirl. Interesting. Interesting take. Right, I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll go to the main server. We'll close the test server down. And we'll do my top 10 on the live server, which is not ideal, really. I want to show some of the changes while we're doing it, but hey. Meta Bear put, Guts should be number 1. He yaps non-stop. That's comment of the day, that one. Okay. So I thought with the push of the update, I thought I would do a top 10 bots from the update. There's obviously a lot more than that being upgraded, a lot more than that being improved and having small tweaks. But I thought I would sort of do my top 10 bots that after this sort of change, which of these bots will I be looking at maybe incorporating into my war team depending on how they're balanced. Obviously, there's some bots, like the likes of Pipes, for example, that are good, and even with the changes that are going to be made to him, he's still going to be good. And there's other bots I think that are still going to be relevant, some I'm not sure about. But I think that I thought I'd do a top 10 of bots that if you have these sort of semi-leveled, then you might want to consider leveling these guys up because they're going to be a lot better than what they are. Some have had small tweaks, some have had big tweaks. And so this is my top 10 of those changes. So in 10th place is Red Alert. No. In 10th place is First Aid. So the reason I've chosen First Aid is the fact that his healing has been doubled. But not that. Obviously, all the healers now have a sort of small self-heal as well, similar to Minerva. So you've got those two buffs. You've also got a third buff in which the healer's been improved in their targeting. So Minerva's had a buff in terms of her targeting. Wheeljack and Ratchet have had two buffs in terms of their targeting and in terms of the small rejuvenate. But First Aid has actually had three buffs. The rejuvenate, the targeting, and double the healing he was doing before. So I think that First Aid will be a really, really viable healer now. He's probably the worst healer in the game for a long time. And I think he's actually probably got to a level where he can be considered. Is he going to be better than Minerva? I don't think so. But I think that if he got First Aid, he could actually fit into that team. Maybe instead of Wheeljack, instead of Ratchet, instead of Retgar, maybe. He sort of lifted his level up to the rest of them. His Medibots have also been improved so they target faster. So a lot of little changes to First Aid and things were really relevant, and I'm excited to try him out in some top walls with those Medibots to try and reduce some of the damage coming to the bots. Next up is Sunstreaker. So Sunstreaker had a buff in terms of he's had a damage decrease of 6+2. It's only 1 point, but he's had a huge range increase as well. I think he's gone from 22 to 26 squares. So it's a crazy, crazy update for him. And it's kind of good because we've kind of obviously nerfed Leo Prime. Well, not kind of, we have. And so will we see less fire billbots because of this? Maybe. If so, it makes Sunstreaker more relevant. If people are still using Leo Prime, I don't think we'll see Sunstreaker as much. But I think with the amount of damage that he's doing, the amount of range that he's got, I think he'll be an absolutely viable option in top wars, take out some top sections, especially if we see some fire billbots sort of disappearing from the meta. Yet to be seen if that will happen, but even if you don't use him in top wars, I think even in leveling, even in events, teams, I think you'll find that he's going to be a really, really good bot. Next up is Sandstorm. So Sandstorm's healing has been improved. And he already does a crazy amount of healing. You can already see there that he already does 5,000 healing, 10,000 when you use both abilities. It's still cheap at 3+2. So for 6 ability points, you're getting 10k healing. And then his healing is increased by 50%. And he also generates 4% of this. And this has been improved even more. So before I found it quite hard to fit Sandstorm in my team. I found that obviously the healing from a healer was more beneficial than having a bot like Sandstorm. But I feel with the improvements to healers, could we maybe see people going to one healer rather than two? And using someone like Sandstorm just to have that bit extra healing. So it was already a decent bot before, and I think it's even more decent now and even more viable. Next up is Elite 1. We still see Elite 1 in terms of sack. But for 6+3 with that decrease, I think we'll see her even more. We may even see people trying to use her to do a huge amount of damage in an area and trying to clear areas. Do about 5k damage per ability use. A 6+3, 6, 9, 15 ability points. She'll clear a decent area. Nothing too groundbreaking, but I think with the cost decrease, we'll definitely see her more in terms of sack and even doing a huge amount of damage in an area at lower levels at Cybertron. So, interesting choice. I think definitely a great buff for Cybertron and below players. I think we'll see her as one of the best bots in the game again. For higher players, I think we'll still use her as sack. And then obviously doing electric damage still, couple that with the cryo that's coming in, that sort of cryo meta and cryo bots. It'd be interesting to see what Elite 1 does with the cost decrease. Next up is Springer. So at first, a lot of the conversation was about defensive perimeter not really doing much, not really being useful. And we sort of come to the conclusion that no one used defensive perimeter. Everyone used his second ability, aerial support. So they've increased defensive perimeter. They've increased the range. They've increased the targeting, increased the damage. It's absolutely been rewritten basically to be an absolute good ability. But not just that. They've also increased aerial support. So it not only heals the target, but it also heals Springer as well, making those backdoors even more viable. So we saw backdoors being used periodically, sporadic in some wars, but I think it's going to be an absolutely really good option now. I mean, with Ruination being nerfed, it's going to be a bit harder to maybe operate, but I think Springer's an absolutely great option. If you remember back as well, when Tech used to be on my channel, he used to use Springer to clear an area and then bring Springer across. Will we see Springer doing more of that? Will we see more sort of split walks in that sense? So looking forward to Springer getting some use as well in top wars, I think. Next up is Dinobot. So I was under the conclusion that Dinobot was pretty awful. He didn't really survive that well. He ran ahead, and I weren't really impressed. But what we found was that the healing receive wasn't working properly. So that has been fixed. He's also been given a fourth decoy as well. So I think we'll definitely see him more on defense. I think we'll see him more on attack. And I think that people are just going to, how we sort of set him up before with the healing cores to try and improve the healing, consider it wasn't working, that's going to be absolutely immense in terms of the amount of healing we're going to receive and his survivability. So I think we'll see a lot more Dinobot, especially on defense. I think we'll see more of him on attack, and things will be a really good option for some players to sort of pop outposts as well. Next up is Ironhide. So Ironhide was already a very good bot, but as part of the rework, they've improved Taunt, and Taunt works unbelievably well now, to the point where I think that Russian warriors are going to take over any warriors we have. I think we're going to see more FFD cores because of it. I think it's going to be a bit OP personally, but we'll have to see when the patch comes out. But this taunt is absolutely immense. But not only has Ironhide got a taunt as part of his ability that works now, he's also got a taunt as part of his G1. And that's been increased from 30% to 50%. So this guy is an absolute taunt machine. So I feel like he's gone from being a very good warrior to maybe even overtaking Pipes as maybe the best warrior. Who knows? But very excited for Ironhide. Some great changes. I'm going to be an interesting addition with that electric damage that he does. So that... Oh, sorry. Disable. It just have an electric emblem, so maybe not. But if it does do electric, that's even going to be combo with Cryo as well. So it'll be interesting to see. Interesting to see what Ironhide does. Next is one of my favourites, and that is Chromia. Chromia has had a huge rework again to make the tower more survivable, to do more damage, to do more stun. It does. Can't talk to it. It did 2 seconds stun every 4 seconds. We sort of agreed that wasn't enough. It didn't make Chromia a problem. It's a massive nerf. That's been increased to 3 seconds out of 4. So she stuns for longer now. The tower's got more HP, so it stays alive for longer. And now it does 60% glass gas in an area, which is a huge amount when you think about how nasty glass gas can be. To make that 60%, so I think she'll be viable on defense, no doubt. I think we'll see her in a lot of outposts. Will we see her on attack? Maybe. Is she a viable option to combo with other bots? Who knows? But I think this changes to Chromia that we made before this balance update really pushed her to the back of the queue in terms of outpost bots, and these changes are pushed her right to the front again. With the change off to Beachcomber and to Twin Twist, making them maybe not as good, will we see Chromia being the #1 outpost bot in the game maybe? Who knows, but I can't wait personally. I've started leveling Chromia and she's going to be my next bot that I focus on. I'm going to be a great addition, I think. Don't think I've got the fast version of this one. Oh, come on, hang on. Yeah. And next up is Cosmos. So Cosmos, I feel, is one of the most pesky outpost bots at the minute. With that hacking some of your team. The problem being is that a slight tweak to your attack could hack a shark on someone else's attack that you're replicating. For yours, it could hack 2 gunners and 2 healers and absolutely ruin your attack. And that sort of unknown about what's going to happen makes it a lot more difficult to attack a base that has Cosmos and an outpost. But he's actually had another buff. He will now attack 3 targets instead of 2, which makes it even harder. So instead of attacking 2 bots out of your team, he's going to now hack and attack 3 bots to make it that bit harder. You find people now are dropping combiners to deal with Cosmos more than they are actual combiners. So it's interesting that he's had another buff again, and I think this guy is going to be one of the, if not the top outpost bots in the game. Crazy, crazy good. Another bot that I am leveling next event. I'm going to be absolutely amazing, I feel. And #1 on the list is Smokescreen. So I know that Smokescreen has had a nerf, and people are worried about using Smokescreen. Now, if you use Smokescreen with first aid, no, try again. If you why am I getting all mixed up? But if you use Smokescreen with air raid, then yes, this is not maybe going to be the bot for you. It's not going to work as effective as it did before. But what's changed is they've taken his glass gas away. So that AoE combo has gone. What they have done is they've actually made it so that his execute is working. So the 5-star will execute at 50%. So if you can get an MDS down to 50% health, this guy will finish it off for 3 ability points. Which for me is absolutely crazy. I think it'll be the bot that everyone's going to use. And the good thing is that most people have already got him leveled because of his DPS, because he can combo with the likes of Air Raid. He combos with other things well, with the glass gas, taking out build bot. So a lot of people got this guy leveled already. And I think he's going to be the next Leo Prime, the next essential bot that everyone needs in their team. Literally just sniping targets. Will it last? I don't think so. I think that by the next patch, this guy might be reduced maybe to a 30% execute or 40%. But for the time being, let's use him for what he is. Let's take out some high HP buildings, destroy them with half health, which a lot of bots can do in terms of combos, and then finish it off in smokescreen. An absolutely amazing bot, in my opinion, and going to be essential in war teams. Well, that's my top 10 bots from the patch update. What do you guys think? Any of the bots you're looking forward to? Some of the bots you think, maybe not so much, was it? Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and yeah, let's look forward to the update. See what you guys put in. Traxxas bot first day with Minerva seems interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. Again, I think Minerva will stay in my team. I think she's still the best healer. But it's interesting to put another healer in there. Like I said, and I put Wheeljack at a minute, but I like his speed up, but I also like that, Medibots blocking health, so it's going to be interesting. Volcanix 69's bot. Volcanix is predicating the buff. I did say the same thing to Dale. I'll have to wait and see. Cuddy Fox bot. I think they should add Groove into the game. He died. I know, but it's hard with the diversion defensor with the Rook that they're using. There's no real room for Groove, sadly. King Grimlock's put, hey, love some Sandstorm. Yeah, it can be good. I've tried putting my war team, but he's never quite got in there. So maybe, hopefully, I can try and get him in. Fabian's put, Jazz is going to be good after the patch update. Yeah, but he's still quite expensive, I feel. Just normal damage, but it's a bit expensive to combo. Yeah, I'm not too sure on that. I think he's better, but I don't think he's quite there yet to be like, part of the meta, I don't think. Steve Pierce has put what they're doing to Twin Twist. He was doing more damage than what he should. He was doing he was stacking his damage. So that's been changed. I'm not sure how he's going to be yet. But yeah. Kuoto's put, yep, still can't take out cannons. I know. Cuddy Fox put, I've been hitting MDS in 2 shots with Skylynx. He's really underrated. Skylynx's problem is not his damage. It's the fact that he walks ahead and dies. I might be wrong on this, but I think he doesn't have a passive. And so because of that, as the tanks use their passive, Skylynx walks ahead. And because he walks ahead, he gets targeted by defenses and dies very easily. You've literally got to use Skylynx's ability to keep him back a bit. So it's not the case of Skylynx being poor in terms of damage. It's his survivability before that and keeping him alive so he can do what he does. Jurassic Sport Smokescreen execute really makes him worth it, but if they go below 40%, it makes it hard to justify it. I think it's 50%. I'm pretty sure. Krotos put, I'm very excited about Sunstreaker. Yeah, I heard about you in the said about that in the chat. I'm gonna wait and see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to using him. Got some really good range. I really do think that people will stop using fire build bots. I don't think everyone. I don't think like fire build bots are going to get removed from everyone's base. But at the minute, everyone's using at least 2. Every single top player is using 2 fire build bots. So I think that what will happen is we'll see them less, which makes Sunstreaker more viable. Lucy's put, looking forward to seeing Hotspots buff finally. Getting 8% health can only be good. It is, but he's not quite as good as the rest of the warriors. And he's more expensive. I did bring that up to Dale. And I said, listen, I don't think this guy is finished yet. I think there's room for improvement. But we'll have to wait and see. But he's definitely better, but not as good as Pipes. Personally, I would like to see the 80% health, and I think more reflection it was. More reflection coming. I think it was 80% reflection or something like that. But you definitely need something a bit more to survive. Because he does die. Not as quickly as he did, but he still does die quite quick compared to Pipes. CS Tactics, yeah, just to remind everyone there's going to be another update probably near December, so don't panic. These are not set in stone. They're going to change within another 6 months, so Um, Michael Nicholson Sport. Is there anyone you were surprised to not see on the list for getting a buff or a rework? Scouts, personally. I feel like Scouts needed a bit of a rework in terms of their survivability. I would like to see a Scout class in the game rather than Gunner. No, sorry, rather than specials, really. It's like, I think Dale said that he's bringing out sort of range special and melee special, but I think that Scouts should have their own class. I think. Yeah, I think the survivability is improving all of them because you got to think that like you're talking punch, Perceptor, B. Is that it? I think Chromia. I think is it a Chromia one? They're the ones that backflip basically. So yeah. Bruce Lattis put Cliff Jumper 5-star coming out and make him relevant with the G1 maybe. Again, that's another bot where I don't think it's the ability, it's more the survivability. That it doesn't have the range, I think, of other gunners. Just dies very quickly, so we'll see. Vic Chings put, talk about bots that can heal, but not healers. What's your thoughts on updates about Hoist and Huffer? Hoist, I've never been a huge fan of. I think it's the same sort of Sandstorm that is looks good, but I prefer a healer. I've only just got him recently as a 5-star, so I'll sort of save judgment if I'm honest with you. But in terms of Huffer, I still think he needs more. I don't think it's enough. I think he keeps getting underbuffed, and he needs a massive buff to make him a decent bot finally. And I don't know what it is. I don't know why they're reluctant to do that. I don't know. Traxxas but yes, Smoltstream's going from 40 to 50% execute. But what I mean is, if the next patch they bring down and goes to like 30%, I think it would be a huge nerf that would bench him. Maybe not, but these things sort of happen. You know, we might go 50, we might go down to 30, and then might meet in the middle at 40, might stay at 30. Who knows? You know, these these sort of happen. That's what these balance patches are for. And bots will fall away, bots will come back, bots will be buffed. King Grimlock's book Goldfire got left behind. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. CS Tactics agrees about Scout and support bots needing their own class. Goody Fox's spot, I also think the Slash is a Scout. Not quite in terms of the way Scouts work in this game, in terms of the backflip, so no. Michael Nicholson Sports. So now that you did a top 10 for best change, do you have a top 5 losers on those getting nerfed? Maybe next week, maybe. I mean, let's be honest though, the top 5 are always going to be the likes of Leo Prime, Optimus, Blue Streak, you know, because they're the main focus, they're the main ones that have been nerfed. But I think that the top one for me is Blue Streak. I was saying this to Dale, the Blue Streak is the one bot I don't think I'll use anymore. In my war team at all. I think I'll still use Leo Prime. I think I'll still use Beachcomber. Definitely on defense, especially. I think Air Raid's still viable. You know, all these bots have got these nerfs. I think Optimus is still useful. But Blue Streak for me, that reducing that HP was massive. And I don't think range reduction is that beneficial. I said earlier that I don't see the appeal of Metal Hawk because range reduction. And you should know by now, me and Free sort of sit on two sides of the fence. That I'm very much, I like to take stuff out. I don't like support in terms of like, yeah, I have healers, but in terms of like healing, in terms of protection, in terms of like slowdowns, in terms of range reduction. Because the way I look at it is that my sort of philosophy, and listen, I'm not saying this is right, I'm not, and no one can tell me it's wrong either, it's just my philosophy and the way I play. I just feel like if you slow something down for ability points for X amount, it gives you a time frame into certain protection. But once that's run out, then ability points have been wasted. So when you support bots, it's giving you time. It's not doing damage, it's just giving you time to heal or do whatever. So for me, I would rather take that defense out for the same ability points if I can. If I can take that defenses out, they're no longer a problem. Not in 10 seconds, not in 30 seconds, not in a minute, not in 2 minutes. They are no longer a problem. Whereas if you use ability points like Metal Hawk, then it's still a problem soon afterwards. It only becomes really good when obviously they start reaching like 20 odd seconds, like Trax does. 20 odd seconds protection for 2 ability points is crazy, 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 crazy. I can't say that enough. I don't think 5-star Trax will stay at 2 ability points. I don't think he can. But he's sort of like a, you know, a lower player champion, which I'm all for as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Blue Streak's the one for me. Thank you, Michael Nicholson, for being a member. Much appreciated. Thank you, buddy. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see, sadly. Yeah, Fabian's put Blue Streaks too strong. King Grimlock, he's his biggest loser. Tracks they've ruined Blue Streak. Blue Streak's nerf is rough, getting benched. Yeah, all these sort of things. Yeah, I kind of agree, but it is done for what it is now. You know, he's there, he's maxed out for me. Come Christmas when the next batch update comes out, he might get changed. He has like cost reduction, so does damage still. But again, I use him on that shield gem. I had a specific way of using him that I thought was beneficial. I took out a build bot usually, or a defense of an area or something, to some damage, just to sort of start stacking him. So the first one was usually a build bot. The second was normally damage around the shield gen area. Then the third one was on the shield gen. Once I've done that, it made the shield gen easier to take out, and thus the rest of the defense is easier to take out. That's where I sort of stood with Blue Streak. Range reduction does nothing for the shield gen, so it doesn't matter. So it's just damage in an area. That's all I see it as. So, when I take out build bots with him, I don't need range reduction on build bots. I do actually. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Does that work on build bots? Have I just found something there? It's weird. That's one for the test, isn't it? But I don't think so. But range reduction, just not beneficial for me. Not a big fan. Yeah, I reckon Tessa's back up again. I'll look in a minute. Traxxas spot. I hit the nail on the head. Why do I want to blind defense using ability points? I have to deal with it later on. When I can use the same points to take care of it. That's exactly my philosophy personally. King Grimlock's put, I'll show you some ideas on unintended buffs I can see. Unintended? Interesting. And Fabi's put, let's see that next week. Yeah, I'll look into that. I'll look into a range reduction on billboards. I don't think so. Krotos put, funny, I wasn't actually using Blue Streak before, but now I'm considered leveling him strictly as a Brainstorm Trigger Man. Does he do enough? It's a lot. Don't forget, you've got... Brainstorm's cheaper now, but I think that using Blue Streak 3 times to make him a Trigger Man, it's quite expensive, I suppose. I don't know. Interesting. But again, listen, if the combo works, the combo works. End of the day. That's all that matters, isn't it? If it works for you, it works. That's all that matters. Okay. Let's have a look at this test server, see if it's working. Okay. We'll try. We'll try. Okay. Okay. If you can find him, where is he? That low? I've gone past it with Optimus Prime. I definitely got him. There he is. Cool. So, as we all know, since the game's concept, Optimus Prime has generally not worked. It's been quite frustrating, I think, that, the game's sort of iconic character, the reason people flock to this game is Optimus Prime and the likes of. probably the number one well-known bot in the game, what attracts people, and has never really worked since concept. It worked better when the game was still in early stages because a lot of the bots did a lot less, were a lot simpler. But as the game's evolved, what's happened is that bots that have passives, it means that a passive overwrites the rush. And so what you found was you were having to try and pick certain bots to go with Optimus Prime to suit the rush, and basically bots that didn't have passives. There's not a lot of them, and so it kind of got a bit tricky in some senses. A lot of gunners have passives, a lot of special bots have passives. So it became quite awkward for people to rush, and that's why you don't see a lot of top players talk about rushing and talk about trying to rush bases being successful. The amount of times that I've tried a rush and it failed because a bot has walked off, or a bot has not followed, then popped an outpost or popped a combiner when I've not wanted to, means that I've stopped using Optimus Prime altogether. But Dale's kind of on a mission now to try and fix Optimus Prime. At one point we were told he can't be fixed. It's impossible to fix him. But I think Dale's sort of like, you know what? I'm going to get my teeth into this. I'm going to see what I can do. So we're going to talk about how Optimus Prime worked before. We're going to talk about some options on how he should work, how he can work, and why not. So how Optimus Prime worked before was, so you could rush to the target, you could drop your bots, and they would follow shortly afterwards. So you don't have to rush with Optimus Prime, you could rush and it would put a beacon on the defense and the bots would follow. Now once that defense died, it meant that the rush stopped because the bots were rushing to a beacon placed on that defense. Once the defense was destroyed, the bots would stop following. This is why in a lot of top bases, people put really low HP buildings to the side as kind of a rush point, because they know that if you rush their Optimus Prime, the bots are only going to follow for a very small amount of time, because the structure is going to be killed and the rush will stop and bots might walk off. But the solution could be that you could rush again. You could rush even higher and drag the bot upwards. But you need to understand that the rush doesn't always work. It depends what bots you've got, and even then doesn't always work. It was very inconsistent. So you kind of got to understand that if you're rushing, you're taking a huge risk. If successful, it's very, very impactful. It really is. You can skip half the base by rushing. But when it doesn't work, it usually means dropped points. It's hard to take healers for that reason, because healers are then running back and forward between the bots that are on the launch pad still or halfway up the map, and the bots at the top of the map trying to kill the HQ. Usually healers just pretty much die, and so whenever I rush, I don't bother taking healers. So the key word here is inconsistency. Now for me, any bot that has inconsistencies, I don't use. When I make my war attacks, these things need to be consistent. You need to do what you want them to do when you want them to do it. At the top levels of the game, that can literally be the difference between a win and a loss. Hence, Optimus Prime is not really used at all at the top levels of the game. So, how Dale is trying to fix this, I'm not sure how behind the scenes. I'm not trying to get technical with it. But how it's working right now is that the rush is working a lot better. But there's one problem. Is that when you do rush a second time, the bots won't follow straight away. The bots follow the first rush, but the second rush won't overlap the first one. The second beacon won't replace the first one. So the question is that a better alternative? That you can rush, then you have to wait maybe 8 seconds, 10 seconds before you can rush again. But it does mean that all the bots will follow though. All of them. So no bots left behind. Let's give it a go. So I do want to make a bit of an announcement that, don't forget guys, that this is still in development. This is still being tested. But the aim of it is to have consistency. That's the main thing. So, you'll drop Optimus Prime. Been hit with a mine. Hopefully, he can stay alive. I think did I have his G1 on him? I hope so. Yeah, there's his G1 there. So there's the rush. As you can see, all the bots are following. Rush again. Oh, they are following again. But you see, not quite as consistent. Let's try that again. Let's move some outposts. I want to try and showcase the rush and not worry too much about anything else. Let's try and use them in quick succession. 2, 1 back to back. Oh my god. Has Dale fixed Prime Rush? Wow. So my next question is, that seems to be fixed. But my next question is that too OP? Because this is a conversation that I had with Dale. Let's try this out. Let's give it the ultimate test. Ah, but the range has been reduced. Smart. I think that's quite clever. I think that's actually made it quite balanced because before you found that the bots would follow from all the way across the map, whereas now they'll only follow in a range. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sold on it already. I'm pretty happy with that. I actually hope this will come as part of the next balance change because it's consistent. It's not too OP that they're gonna walk from the entire length of the map. Let's have a look at the range, what they will follow. Let's see. Been hit by a mine as well, I guess, again, so. Some of them bots are quite far away. Let's have a look. Yeah. So the range is a lot shorter now. So I think with the range being shorter, I think that people that use Optimus Prime for pathing, if one bot's sort of walking off slightly, it's going to be great. But those that sort of like split the base and then rush all to the side, they're going to find this not as effective. But I think those that are trying to actually rush bases, I think that those that are just trying to pull bots back in again, I think it's going to be really effective in that sense. Better, I think so personally, but I think I can find a few people that will be quite annoyed by it. But I do like the fact that it's consistent. That's the key word for me in all this. Consistent. It needs to be consistent. As long as it's consistent, not too OP, I'm kind of on board with it. Losing the range for consistency, personally, I'll take that. I'm really happy with it. What do you guys think? Does it make base a lot easier now? Do you think that they're going to be more rushable bases? Do you think that Optimus Prime's going to be on more war teams? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Cool. Three Foxes, but it's both above and earth. Yeah, in a way, it is. It is. Um, cool. Michael Nicholson's put at least definitely worth trying again. Yep. Mattis put Skiller does the short range pull, so what's the difference? That's a fair point as well, though. But then Skiller does give that bit of an increase, so a bit of that the sort of damage increase and the sort of is it a shield she gives as well? Let's have a look at her. Yeah, so the building gets destroyed, then she gets 40% DPS and 40% damage reduction shield as well. So yeah. Stuart Henderson said he started using them again on his war team. Cool. Goody Fox has put, for me, I still know we're not using, but there are a few bots I will not use much in with the buffs. Fair point. Drax has put, it'd be nice if I don't have to clear half a bottom area just to rush around the side. If it works and bots don't split up. Well, I don't know about the sort of clearing out the side. I think you should still have to clear an area to rush. We don't want it too OP where you can rush at any base, but I think it's decent. Yeah, Volcanic 69's put prime rushes hit or miss. Exactly, that's a problem, yeah. Stuart Henderson's put, I found a few problems with bots following his ability. Yeah, I agree, but I came in halfway through you talk about him. Yeah, that was definitely a problem, yeah. Mattis, but Op will now be a weaker aerial. No, I don't think so. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe the bigger range for Optimus Prime. Maybe. Yeah, Dale's but the Optimus has 3 times the range of aerial command. So yeah. Cool. Goody Fox put, wish they can give Orion Pax and Aerial a boost when on the same team. Yeah, we need stuff like that, synergies. Definitely. The problem is, though, that bots and cons don't work the same, so it depends on the bot. Some will work better than others, that's a problem. Grotter's put, not for rushing, but I'm still an Aerial fan. See, I was never a fan, personally. Mattis put, last demo on screen didn't bring bots that were pretty close. Yeah, I think Dale's is going to increase, that's why. Aerial has to broken. That's is broken. She does not work as well as she sounds. Yeah, I agree. Um, Lucy's put. She still thinks that Prime deserves better than Prime Rush. Maybe. Let's have a look. Dale saying to go and try out Ariel and go and try out Optimus. So let's have a look. Let's put Ariel in there. Let's have a look. So I'm going to drop Ariel there. I'm going to drop everyone else. Just leave this mine. For God's sakes. I do agree, though, that there needs to be a good disparity between Optimus Prime and Ariel. There needs to be. They can't be the same. Wait till everyone's dropped. Then do Ariel. Well, they're not even close to fair. So where range is where she is. Yeah, it's pretty crap. Let's try again with it close. Let's try there. Let's try more behind her. See the law walk slowly towards there. Yeah, we're walking there though. Try another one to put around there. Yeah, we're walking though. Yeah, we're walking. But our range is a lot less. Then you get Prime Rush. A lot faster. You'll follow. Yeah, the idea. But yeah, Optimus range is definitely bigger. Dale, don't use them together. Hold my beer. This is all fine though, because on some bases, because I've not even set this team up for a rush. This is what Cortos put challenge accepted. This is my only worry, that people are gonna easily rush bases, and the people are just gonna rush around to HQ maybe. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. Koto, Optimus Trail would be a sick bot specific combat. Maybe. Massey's put range is key. As long as Op is pulling from much further away, it's cool. Just didn't look it to start. Yeah, but I did sort of like, pull them apart a bit, and Dale says he's going to increase it, but I think it's fine where it is. You got to look at where the bots are. So for me, but I think pulling from across the map is a bit OP, and it's getting it balanced. So for me, anything from Sea Spray should be pulled. There you go, everyone's being pulled. I would argue these two are out of the range slightly, but where's he going? But you get what I'm saying. I think the range is fine. I think that range is perfect, to be fair. It's a lot bigger than aerials. Yeah, I think it's good. I'm really impressed with it. I think it can be a viable attack strategy again. I really do think so. Be interesting to see anyway. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think of it. Matty, what if you use both from the same time and target different buildings? Let's give it a go. Just out of interest. I presume one will override the other because you can't use them both at the same time, can you? As such. There we go. Well, they do both. Yeah, maybe they're getting confused a bit. Maybe. I think you could do well with pretty much, you know. I mean, the base is obviously set up for it quite easily, but yeah. Like that. Thanks, mate. Think you guys are bringing the Manchester Rush to Earthworld. Yeah, I'd use them both personally, but I would use Optimus a couple of times and then use Aerial separately. I wouldn't use them back to back, if that makes sense. It just keeps the cost down, doesn't it, using two? And she's a warrior as well, so she's got good, survivability, so it'd be interesting. Definitely excited to see Optimus Prime's ability work, though, finally. Considering we were told it will never work. So, interesting. Right, we're going to call it a day, guys. I know it's a bit of a short, like I said, but with the update not coming, then there's a few less things to talk about. But next week, the update should be here, and we'll have plenty to talk about next week. So stay tuned, guys. Don't forget, guys, if you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button, guys. Never miss another stream. Never miss a video. All my content, just want to make a point that all my content is free eventually to people. If you want to watch the stream back, you can do. If you want to wait for the videos in a month's time or so, you can do. But if you're a member, I could have all those chunk size pieces for you, and you can see that whenever you wish. It's only, I think it's $2 to be a member or something, but it means you can watch my stream in chunk size pieces. You have to tune in. You don't have to watch through it. You can just watch it at your leisure, but all my content is free. Did have someone saying I put all my content behind a paywall. It's not true, and I do not work for Space 8. Remember that. Even though some people think I do still. But yeah, thanks to everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Thank you for being a member if you are. Don't forget to be a member if you like the channel. And don't forget to tune into the stream next week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace out.